Welcome, everyone.
Hey everybody.
How's it going?
Hello.
Hi.
I'm doing well. I'm doing quite well.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well too.
Nice.
Excited for tonight. How are you, Semi?
I'm good.
Yeah, so tonight we're going to be working on the Python Koans. What are some things folks are learning, have been learning this week? If you're in the audience, feel free to share it in the chat. What's everybody been learning that you really value this week in programming and feel like you can use that you didn't have before? Something about programming that you've learned that you can use.
So I learned a little bit more about how to find the personal value out of coding. How can I use the skills I'm learning to do the things that I want to do in a very broad sense.
Yeah, so you're learning stuff that helps you do things that you're passionate about.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'll share that this week, one thing that was really helpful that I learned was actually for the Python Koans work that we're doing. And I figured out that you could actually do a test inside the REPL, which is the most basic way you can do a test. In fact, we'll be exploring that later today. Anything else from anyone?
I'll go. I've also been learning a bit about koans this week, and I'm excited to explore it today with everybody.
Yeah. This is going to be so today we're going to be exploring, as I said before, Python Koans, and so let's just start off with an example. Semi, do you want to give us an example?
Yes. All right. So I'm going to start out by typing out a line of code. Oops. What does everybody notice about this line of code I have typed out here?
Could you make the text a little bigger for me?
Ooh, I don't think I can. I don't know.
On the terminal?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's
actually,
good.
That one's what.
It's good. Okay, perfect. Is that better?
That's great. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, cool. All right. So, what does everybody notice about this piece of text here?
I'm seeing a lot of the same text over and over and over again, and then on the last line, it ends with Python./contemplate_Koans.python. So I'm seeing a file.
All right. Yeah. So you see a file and the word Python.
Yeah, and I also noticed that it uses backslashes versus forward slashes too.
So I'm going to hit enter. And I'm going to make this a little bigger. What does everybody notice about this text? Or are there any puzzles for this text?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of green text and a little smaller, like red text. in a few sections, thinking about asserts, thinking about strings. You have not yet been enlightened, ... Please meditate on the following code. And then on the bottom, I'm saying you have completed 11 3% koans and 1 out of 37 lessons. You are now 290, etc., etc. So it looks
All right. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, it just looks like there's progress, right? There's something going on that isn't fully completed.
All right, so you said you see a lot of text in the different colors, certain headings. You said there's something down here that shows us progress. What about right here? This yellow and blue text.
I'm seeing a file hyperlink.
All right. See a file hyperlink. So let's go to that real quick. So it's in the koans folder under about strings.py. Yeah. And it did tell us that it was on line 26. So I'm going to jump to line 26. And just a quick second, just take in what you see here on line 26 and tell me if you have any puzzles or questions.
Okay, so I'm seeing def. I'm seeing a def action. I can't remember the term. I'm seeing.
Seeing def. Yeah. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you there. But you said seeing def and the word action or assertion?
Yeah, I'm seeing assertion self.assert equal. Then in a quote, in a parenthesis, I'm seeing an open line, comma, is instance. Then I'm seeing another with string, comma, string.
Right.
And I noticed too, it says assertion error in the console.
Right, assertion error. So I'm going to go ahead and change this little underbars. So we're true. And I'm going to rerun this.
So where does true come from?
True is up here.
I'm sorry.
Maybe I don't understand the question.
I guess what I'm asking you is where does it like what where did you get how do you know to put true there is my question.
So true is just like a value. There's also false. And these are values that you can put here. How do I know to put true there?
Yeah, what happens if you put false in there?
Yeah, I could put false there. If I can spell the word false. Yeah.
Good thing you're practicing Python Koans.
Before I run this with changing the word false there, what do you notice down here in the white text and the yellow and blue text? And has it changed from last time?
Could you scroll down just a little bit?
Oh, sorry.
For the bottom one.
Oh, here.
Can't really scroll down, but...
Wait, I can help out with this.
Gorgeous. Yeah, the text was just blocking it. Okay, so I'm noticing you have completed 12 3% koans. So it's increased.
Yeah, it's increased from last time we had 11 at 3%. Now we have 12 at 3%. What else?
And then there are 292 Koans. What I am noticing is it's kind of like it's almost like a worksheet. If it like when you have the open spaces, it's like there's the thing to fill in, and then it gives you the feedback of it progressing, like towards the yeah. So it's just like a exercise.
Right. So we noticed that it's kind of, you said exercise.
Exercise or test.
All right. So just real quick, I'll switch it back.
Wait, did you run it again since you switched it before?
Yeah, this was the run with false.
Oh, okay, cool. Are you sure? I don't know that. I'm not sure you ran it. Let's see if you run it with false. Let's make sure.
Oh wait, maybe I didn't. My bad.
Ah, it's all good.
Okay, yeah. So now what do you notice between this one and our last run?
Ooh, there's a lot going on. I think I noticed there was a whole new section in the, if you could scroll down again, there's the, you have not yet, wait, was the assertion error false, is not equal to true? Is that up there? Or is that?
Yeah, so let me scroll back to here.
Yeah. There, it's a fill me, it says fill me in.
Yeah, and if we wanted to change this one to say fill me in, does anyone know what we'd have to type to replace false with? If we wanted to make this one go back to fill me in, what would we have to put in false? Replace false with?
I have an idea. Is
Yeah?
it underbars?
Let's see what happens when we put underbars there. So right now it's saying assertion error false is not equal to true, right? So if you put the two underbars there, what do you expect it to say?
I expected to say fill me in.
No, my bad.
Like
no,
this.
that was right. I think that was perfectly right.
Yeah, so I put the underbars back and now.
Yeah, what do you notice under the assertion error? Go ahead.
Yeah, I notice it's. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Is this scroll down? I'm seeing fill me in, which was what we got. Okay.
Yeah, so it says fill me in, and then if we replaced a false to a true, it would change again, right? Like.
Yes, I'm seeing this. This is slowly coming together because when we first were looking at this before the stream, I was like, what is going on? But now I'm starting to kind of see how these work together and how this Koan is set up.
Yeah, no, it helps a lot. And yeah, Semi, do you want to ask the group any last questions before we move on to the next example? Do you have any questions for folks?
No questions right now. If anybody in the audience has any questions, I would be happy to answer.
Yeah, any puzzles? Anyone? If not, I've got an example to bring too. So I'll share an example as well. Which is this is, we've been doing the koans here, and so what is a Python koan, right? That's going to be a big question here today, and we want to explore this. And as we're coming here, I want to give one more example, and then we'll go over the outline very quickly. So, for instance, for instance, if we type here, very simply just assert 1 equals 2, what do you notice here?
I'm seeing assertion error.
Yeah, so we're seeing an assertion error here. And if I type this and I type comma, this is really bad. What do you notice now?
I'm noticing a label like that's been it's yeah, there's a label, assertion error, : this is really bad.
Yeah. So what is this? What is this code exactly doing here? Now, if I were to change the code and say assert 1 equals 1, what happens here? What do you notice now?
Nothing happened.
If I say 1 equals 1,
True, false. Okay, interesting.
so what would you like? How might this be useful? What might you use something like this in code?
Well, we're talking about tests, so this would be a good way to measure if something is I don't know if it's using the program correctly is the right way to say it, or or if it's more about leveling if two things are just true. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but you're noticing that it's kind of catching things, or like it's using it's. I heard you say something.
Catching mistakes, or mistakes are things that aren't working. Like the code doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. So so tonight we're going to be talking tonight about koans and testing, and this is just the beginning of it. I'll give you all an example, which is that recently I got asked if to apply for a job that was in a Ruby on Rails job. And although I've taught Ruby quite a bit, I hadn't used it for a number of years. And I was able to take the Ruby koans and just type through them. I already have taught Ruby for years. I just wasn't fresh on it. And so I went through them, and all of a sudden I was remembering all the different features of Ruby, and I knew what I could do with it. And so today I want all of us to use the Python koans so that we can learn Python better. We can even make our own koans today, and we can find koans that interest us. So that's what we're going to be working on today. And we're going to start off with, we're going to have a few announcements real quick, but then what we're going to do is Semi's going to go over how you install the Python koans first. And everybody who's in the audience, you can use this to install the koans yourself and do this yourself and follow along with us. After that, we're going to take some tests, look at a number of tests. If we have extra time, we'll even make some koans of our own, and we can reflect upon things and figure out what we learned, find if there's any ways we want to apply anything further, and take it from there. And we'll take questions at the end if people have any questions or there's anything that's any remaining puzzles. But if you have puzzles as we go, just let us know. So without further ado, Semi, do you want to well, let's go to the announcements real quick, and then we'll get right to it. So I just want to let everybody know Code Whatever is a nonprofit. We nurture 21st century literacy and human rights. And you can see we have this video here about about what we do, this is our session for tonight. On Wednesday, we're going to be having another session called a pitch-in, where you can practice a pitch of any idea, human rights topic, or anything you really care about. It can be a product or whatever that you want to pitch, that you want to share with people, that you want people to understand. Whatever it is, come and pitch with us and debate with us. And also, you can learn about human rights issues. We're going to be talking about the recent Supreme Court decision this week about presidential power. That's tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. We go live and then and stream. And you can be on that if you come earlier. We'll be having a code lab on Thursday, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can just drop in and code with us, learn to code, whatever. And on Sunday, there's going to be another pitch-in at 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern. And again, you can practice pitches. There's no live stream on Sunday. It's just there for the joy of it. And one last thing, we have a GoFundMe fundraiser that you can get. Our website is codewhatever.us. So we'll put that in the chat. That's codewhatever.us. But you can donate to our fundraiser. And this work that we do is only possible from the kind, generous donations of people in the community. So if you like what we're doing and you want to see us do more, donate. It'll help us do more of this work, and it'll help us put out more, and it'll help us develop our JavaScript curriculum and our Python curriculum. And we're trying to make a really experiential curriculum for people, not something that you just copy other people, but you find your own way of programming. So with that, we're now going to work on installing the Python Koans. Semi, do you want to take it?
Ready.
Great.
All right, so if I could get some help with this link in the chat, navigating to this website. It's called Python Koans by Greg Malcolm. And take a second to look around. I'm going to make it full screen. And anybody in the audience, anybody on stage, tell me what you notice as you're looking around.
Let me just get this file open. I'm noticing a lot of different files on the page. I'm seeing a few folders on the very top.
All right, so we see a lot of files, a few folders on the very top. If anybody else has any more questions later on, let me know. I'm going to hit the download button. You do that by going to the screen button and downloading as a zip file. Now I'm going to take this folder and I'm going to extract it to a folder. This is very important. Extract it to a folder that you can find later.
Yeah,
just a place that you know.
Yeah.
I see, just moving it somewhere where you know you're going to find it later.
Yeah.
Just to repeat exactly what you said.
I'm going to stick it in this folder here. But yeah, if anybody's noticing anything or has any questions.
I'm noticing that it's copying files. Yeah, open it. You've got it on your computer, Iyad?
Mm-hmm. Going along.
All right. Yeah. So I'm going to make it a little bigger. Here's the folder that got extracted. I'm going to delete this one because it's garbage. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. And I'm going to take this folder and I'm going to open it up in my preferred code editor. So there we go. I'm
And which one
also
was,
going
I'm sorry, which one was that? Contemplate.Koans?
Oh no, the folder called Python _ Koans master. I just dragged it in.
Oh, the entire folder.
Yeah, or if you want, pretend I'm opening it again. This is where knowing where you put the folder comes into play. Navigating just to the folder and opening it up like that.
Is that
And you
compatible on
see,
Sublime text?
yes, Sublime can do that. I don't know if I have Sublime installed. I do not have Sublime installed right now, but I do remember Sublime can do that.
Do you do you want to share your screen too as we're going? So as Semi is going through the steps, you can show us where you're at, even if it's chaotic and messy. We love chaotic and messy here. Don't feel pressured to share, but if you want to share and kind of give us a sense of where you're at, be our guest.
It is sharing.
Okay.
Here we go. Maybe if you go up to File. Oh, you already did it, Paul.
Yeah, you're good. Do you know how to get the files?
What do you mean?
Yeah, you just click on the different files.
Oh yeah, yes I do. I guess
Now,
I know.
do you know how to run the Python Koans? Now, maybe we'll go back to Semi for a second so you can see how Semi does it, and then because Semi hasn't run the Koans either, but you're in a good spot. Is there anything you can think of, Semi, that I didn't think of?
Ooh, I don't really know much about Mac OS, but I know this is where the holes come in. But what I'm gonna
no
do?
worries. Yeah, I've got the Mac OS, so
Okay, so
we'll
I'm
tag
just
team.
gonna right click. So earlier you saw me run it from the terminal down here. I'll show you a different way. I'm just gonna right click and hit open in the terminal or the PowerShell specifically. Make it a little bit bigger. And I'm gonna type out Python again and contemplate Koans. And there we go. Does any puzzles here?
Yes, because so we opened it up on an external like code program run. I can't remember what the name would be called, but like what like a Sublime text or a text editor would be, and then you opened it up on like the terminal of your computer.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay.
And I can also run it here like I did last time.
Yes, you have
Just
both.
to show you.
Yeah. Would you like it, Ed, for all the Mac users if I demo it too?
If that might be helpful for the stream.
Yeah, I'll demo it too real quick. And then Semi can take back over. I'll just be very quick. Okay, so you see now Semi uses the IDE VS Code. You're using the IDE Sublime Text. I'm not using an IDE. All I'm using is the terminal. But even then, see if I want to run the tests, I do it a little bit differently than Semi, so I could do it this way. In my case, I could do what Semi's doing, right, which is this, and this is actually how I often do it. Do you want to see that again real quick? Should I do that one more time? Because I moved kind of fast there. So if I'm here, I just type this. What do you notice here?
So I'm noticing that you have Python 3 and then you have the file. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to press enter. It's a little bit different on here, you might notice. But it's not a difference that makes a big difference in this case. And then I hit enter. And now I've done a few of these on this version, right? But what do you see here?
I'm seeing the file that we were working with earlier, the Koan.
Yeah. So this also works. Do you want to see if you can try to make it work yet?
I would.
Here, we'll go back to you now.
Okay, you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I got the Koan open on my Sublime, and I got my terminal open.
Yeah. So do you remember the command?
So I know it's Python 3 contemplate.
You should be able to tab there.
Does it
If you yeah, just tab. Press well once you type C. You see how it shows you all the stuff there if you tab. Now if you were to type C as in contemplate.
Okay. Oh, I see.
If you're in the folder though. I'm not sure if you're in the folder anymore.
I should be. I'm seeing Python right here.
Right. But is that where you're like, for instance, if you were to like say ls, like if you delete that, delete the Python 3 for a second and type ls. So what does ls do?
So that shows all of the files or everything that's in the folder.
Right. Does anything say contemplate there?
It does not.
But what does it say?
I'm thinking this might be where it is.
So how do you get in there? Do you remember?
Yeah, so it's CD. And you said, I'm trying to figure out how the shortcut that.
If you type P, just type P and then press tab.
Oh, I see. You do it the other way around. Okay.
So CD space P and then tab.
Stunning.
And that's shell autocomplete. So then you just press enter. And now if you could also press PWD. What happens if you press PWD?
PWD is going to show me where I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got, yeah. So Koan master, which is the file I'm in, code desktop. That's what's in my personal computer. So right now, that what was the name of that again? The shell.
Well, the command you ran.
Mm-hmm.
Or what are you asking here?
I'm sorry. The tab. What was that called when you press tab and show it?
Oh, autocomplete.
Shell autocomplete.
Yeah, shell autocomplete.
That's changed my life. Okay.
It really is profound, right? And there's different ways you can put those automations in the shell. You can make the shell whatever you want it.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, do you remember how? Yeah, go for it.
Oh shoot. Let's see.
Give it a second. Wait for it.
Things are happening.
You did it. What are you noticing?
Yeah, so I'm seeing the Koan showing up. I'm seeing some affirmations here. I'm seeing that's not an affirmation. That's damage. But yeah.
Nice.
Magical. Wow.
Semi, do you want to take over for a second now and solve one of them and keep going a little bit?
Yes, I can take a second and solve it.
Yeah. And then after they solve it, yet if you want to do the first one, you can do the first one with us too, on your side.
I'll wait before I do anything.
Yeah.
All right, so looks like we have 0 completed.
Oh.
So I'm going to jump to line 17.
Do it.
Now I'm going to full screen this real quick. What do you notice on line 17?
Okay, so I'm seeing self dot assert true parenthesis false hashtag this should be true, which is a comment.
Ah. So it says this should be true in the comments. So I'm going to try and change it to true. And let's see what happens when I do that. So this is saved. So taking a look at the yellow and white text, what do we notice there?
Yeah, what do you see changed between the first time you ran and the second time?
Oh, okay. So on the first one, I'm seeing on the bottom line of the yellow text, I'm seeing self-assert true, false, and then the comment says this should be true. Then the second one says self-assert true, quotation, or not quotation, parenthesis, self-assert dot, oh my gosh, I'm all mixed up. Self dot assert true, parenthesis, false, this should be true. That's what's different. This should be true, dash dash, please fix this.
Oh, on line 23.
On line 23.
So do you think I could pass this over to somebody else if they want to take this one?
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
All right.
Go for it, Ed.
So I'm noticing that do I want to do the work on my terminal or?
So you can edit it in your command. You can edit it in Sublime and then save it in Sublime, and then you run it in your terminal.
Cool. Okay. So here we got the Koan. Let's see. Start a class.
Yeah. Now, which one are you in? Which one does it say is which one are you currently in? Which one does it say in the terminal is a priority?
So we're in contemplate.koan, and that's the file we're focused on right now.
Well, wait. What is
tiny for me?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Can you make it? Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Make it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me.
If you're on the Mac, if you want to make that larger, it's just Command Shift plus. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
You can go a little bit smaller than that if you want. Yeah, what's it saying? Yeah, what's it saying where it says, please meditate on the following code?
Please meditate on the, okay, here we go. About asserts.p.python, line 17. Oh, it's the first one. It's convenience. Okay, and then line 17, this should be true. So I'm just going to turn this to true. Save it. And then okay.
Yeah, go for it. Run
and
the
then the
test
process
now.
is running. Great.
And yeah, how many of you completed so far does it say? And then when you run it, I want you to notice.
Buffering.
You can cancel that. I don't think you need that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. That's the terminal output.
Okay.
So
now can you run the test again?
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, if you want to get the code, yeah, just press up. There you go. So what's different?
Well, I know here it's going to show us where the progress is. You have completed 0% of the Koans. And here it says 0%. So there has been some progress.
Mm-hmm. Is there a difference in colors between the first test and the second one? Or like before you ran the first, like before you made the test?
Oh, yeah. I'm seeing here, thinking about asserts, I'm seeing green. And here, oh, there wasn't even there's a whole new line of code as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So here it says damage your karma, and here it still says test assert true. No, it is different. Wait. No, it's true. It's different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So where would be, do you know where to go next if you wanted to go next?
Mm-hmm. So I want to go, it would be, yeah, line 23, about asserts.
Let's take a look at line 23.
So, okay. This should be true. Please fix this. Okay. Okay.
What are you noticing now?
So I'm seeing think about asserts here. There's another line of code. So now we have two green. First says test assert truth has expanded your awareness. The second one is test assert with message has expanded your awareness. And then test fill in values has damaged your karma. And now we got two koans.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to try to make the third one pass?
Yeah, let's go right ahead. Asserts, 29. Okay, so this is different. This is different. The other two just told me what to do.
Uh-huh. Yeah, this one's a little more challenging, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, do you want any help, or are there any puzzles here?
Well, I'm seeing math here. 1 + 1. Self dot assert equal. I don't want to cheat. I don't want, because I feel like I saw the answer earlier, but I'm not sure how to get there.
Well, so why don't you try what you think is the answer and just give it a try? But I appreciate your candor about that.
Would it be? You have not yet reached enlightenment. 1 does not equal 2. Is that up here?
Yeah, well, that's the old one, right? And then you
Is
look
this
down below. Yeah.
This is that was the old one. This is the new one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you see? What do you see in the yellow here?
So I'm seeing the file, in test fill in the values, self assert equal 1, 1 + 1. So that's what I wrote.
Yeah. And what's saying is the assertion?
Right here?
Yeah. What kind of assertion is it?
It says assert equal.
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? So it would be like, it would be 2.
What happens if you put 2 in there?
Okay. Expected value is equal to actual value. I'm not sure if I did this right or not.
Well, how many are passing so far? How many were passing before? Is the error the same error as before?
It is not. Okay, so we're making progress.
So you're making progress, yeah?
Yeah, should I keep going to the next one?
You could. Now we've got some choices here. So first off, are there any puzzles for you right now?
Yeah, there's a few things I don't really understand. I don't understand. I understand that, like, I don't understand why this says test assert equality has damaged your karma.
Well,
Like-
was that one being displayed on the previous test? How many were being how many was it having you think about before? If you look at the previous run.
Okay.
How many are, like, for instance, how many are green and how many are red?
I see. Okay, I'm seeing what's happening now. So as you add in, this is the upcoming one. This is the value. This is the koan the test that's coming up next.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because now I'm seeing this is test fill in the values. The test this is test fill in values is here and has damage or karma. It was red, and now it's green because I passed the test. So now it's green. This is so cute.
Yeah, right? It's
Yeah.
very convenient, right? Now we've got another 13 minutes left. Do you want to go for the next one? Do you want to we could if you want to try to explore using asserts in Python in the REPL itself again, and making your own test, we can do that too. It's up to you.
Yeah, let's go ahead and try some different making our own tests. That sounds like fun.
Okay, so why don't you type Python 3 and just press enter. And have you seen this before? Is this familiar?
You mean here down?
Yeah. Is that familiar?
Yeah, so this is in the terminal. It's just
What do you
Python.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, what do you
terminal.
know what do you know how to do with it? What could you do with it? Could
I
you add
know
numbers?
1 equals 1, and that should be true. It should, yeah.
Do it, run it.
And then I also know this is a new skill I learned. Oh, wait. So I know how to add labels too.
Now, there was one other thing we had before. This is kind of interesting because you see it's in parentheses and there's a comma there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what happens if you take what you if you press up? Yeah, take that and just press up. And you can press Control A, it'll bring you to the front of the line.
Control
A. And then what happens if you type assert in front of that?
Assert. No space or space?
Space.
Cool.
Now run. Now what's different between that when you did 1 equals 1 and this is right?
Yeah, so here we just had the original code and then we had a response. Here we got the original code, then we have traceback, most recent call last, and then a file, line 1 in module, a lot of stuff that I don't know what that means. And then it says assertion error, okay, not yet, which is saying that instead of saying false, which it says up here, false, it says assertion error.
Yeah, so it's kind of organizing it for you a little bit.
Okay.
So now, okay, so then what would be a simple test we could write on our own? I could even add it. Okay, go ahead.
No, we could.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to try, but I don't want to take up. We only have 10 more minutes.
Don't forget your assert in the front.
Okay.
And what's the difference if there's no assert?
There's no assert. It doesn't organize the feedback for you in the same way.
Yeah.
Okay. For assert, should I just do like 2?
Let's try it.
And should I just?
You could, yeah.
Did you mean okay? So maybe it doesn't want 2. Maybe it just wants 1. Okay.
Yeah.
So here it just says assertion error, and it doesn't say anything. Whereas
Yeah.
here it said assertion error, and it had the label.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why is there no label?
Well, I didn't put one.
It's true. So let's take a step back for a moment
Yeah.
because we've got about 9 minutes left.
Do y'all want to take? Yeah.
Yeah.
Take over?
Let's just maybe let's take a moment to talk about what we've observed a little bit now, right? Because we've just got 8 minutes left, and so I want to ask you what you've noticed tonight, or what you've is there anything that you've learned tonight that you feel you're going to be taking with you going forward as a programmer? What's one thing that you've learned tonight that you find is valuable that you're going to take forward with you?
I really found the using assertions within the command line. I found that valuable.
Yeah, how might that help you? What's one way that could help you?
Usually when I use the repel, it's just really quick, if I want to test something out or something like that. So I feel like that could be helpful.
Yeah, I agree. I still don't quite understand why assertions is helpful, but I'm gonna rewatch this video and probably be like, oh.
Well, see, there's still a puzzle. There's still a puzzle with assertion. We can do an assertion demo in just a second, but you keep going.
And then I learned how to use a Koan a little bit better today, and how to open up files from GitHub onto open GitHub, add a file on GitHub onto a text editor on my computer, which was very cool.
Yeah. How do you see you might use that skill in the future?
Well, if I went on GitHub and I saw there was a project that I thought was interesting, I wouldn't really know how to open it up, but now I can. Now I can do that and work on some things.
Yeah. Yeah. So now you have access to things that you didn't have access to before. And so yeah, let me jump in for a second, and let's say, okay, so oops, sorry, Semi, I shared your computer and not mine.
Oh, my bad.
No, it was my bad, really. We just both had the terminal open. You can't just assume all terminals are alike,
True.
So, I mean, yours uses backslashes, mine uses front slashes.
Yeah, mine says PowerShell at the top too.
That's true. It's true. And a lot of people think Mac still uses Bash, but it actually, when you see this little modulus here, that actually means that we're using Zish, which is a different shell. More on that later, though. Now, let's say I make a little function, okay? Let's say I make a function that's like an add function. And we can just say 1 plus 2. And so if I do that, right? Oh, wait, let me fix this. Oops. Right, so then I try doing it, right? It gives me back 5. Now, it's interesting. Before, when I did it, maybe that wouldn't have worked, right? So then if I wanted to say, like, assert add 2 comma 5 equals 7, nothing happens here, right? But like, for instance, if I redefined, like if I was tweaking add, right? And I was like, you know what? I don't need this return here. Oops. Then when I run this test again, what's different now?
I'm seeing. So the first time, nothing. Yeah, define add 1 and 2, 1, 2, file 1. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Yeah, so I don't actually see the difference because 2 plus 5 is 7. So why is it an error? Why is it feeding back an error?
Well, what's the difference? How did I change the code from what? Like, for instance, now if I was to say add 2 comma 5.
Okay.
It's now, remember before how I defined it was like this. And so now if I do add 2 comma 5 or that, right? If it's working like that, then if I go assert, nothing's wrong. So imagine I don't think I need to do this, but we could demonstrate in the future easily. Imagine I had a file of assertions like this. If I changed my function and my function stopped working, what would happen if I ran my test file?
If your assertion stopped working, what would happen if you ran your test file?
Yeah, or like if my code was broken and I had a test file of many assertions, I should say it that way. What would happen if my code was broken, but my assertions were testing that code?
The assertion would feed back false or like an error.
Yes.
Assert error.
Yes, and it might even tell me the specific line of code that's a problem.
Oh, wow, that's really useful then.
Yeah, in fact, if you're doing like professional code, like this is one of the hallmarks of professional coding is testing. So people who can test code are likely to have their code break less.
Yeah.
It's just a fact. And you can actually put the tests, like let's say we update the code whatever website. We can actually put tests in the code whatever website that checks that the website is coming out the way we expect it to. So if we try to deploy our changes and it says like, hey, you've got a problem here, something's wrong, it's not going to push those changes up to update the website until we fix the bug.
Oh. And it'll notify you? Or do you have to check the...
Yeah.
That
It won't even let you put it out to the website. And this is what we sometimes call regression testing, the idea that sometimes our code regresses, it goes backwards, it devolves, and so we lose features, and we want to be able to catch that as fast as possible. But it also turns out that it's really useful because we can use the Python Koans to review the language.
And learn more about what it's capable of doing.
Yeah. Does that help you with this puzzle?
With this specific puzzle?
The puzzle of how you might use the asserts?
I'm getting a lot more of an idea of how I might use the asserts. Yes.
Are there any puzzles left tonight that we want to explore?
I think what I need, I mean, I could talk about what I'd want to do going forward, but I'll wait on that.
Okay, all right. Well, we can continue because in 2 weeks, we are going to do another Python Koans lab in 2 weeks. So we're going to try this again and see what else we can do. Unless we feel like we want to do more web stuff, or we want to do JavaScript koans. But I think very likely in 2 weeks we'll do the Python koans again. So, and we can keep building on this. And so there'll be more questions, and we'll continue to adventure. Anyhow, any last thoughts from everyone?
Well, I'm excited to play around with Python, knowing that I have a way to like use asserts. I can learn to use asserts more like fluidly to really find if there are errors where I have to focus on, rather than having to survey the entire thing.
Yeah, and you can. Oh, good.
Well, I'm also excited to finish up the koans. I'm 11 testing. You know, it just feels like a Pokemon thing. You know.
That's how yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
well,
how
and what's exciting is the Python koans are great and everything. We can make our own koans, and we want members of the community to be involved in this too, so that at Code Whatever, people can practice stuff and learn very specific stuff that's very relevant to them. And so that's going to be a project that we're going to be working on. We've already actually got some folks who are volunteering on the project to begin with. And so we're very excited for that. And so it's going to keep going on. We're going to be building a Python curriculum, a JavaScript curriculum, and more. Yeah, Semi.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
No, you're all good. Before we go, I just want to make another shameless plug. Please, 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 please donate to us, because it helps us do this work more. And you want to see us be successful and do this stuff more and make a JavaScript and Python curriculum for everybody. So donate to us and we'll do more of this. You can donate. You can find us by our website, codewhatever.us. That's codewhatever.us. And that's all I got for everybody. Anybody else got anything?
I'm good for tonight.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ed. Thank you so much, Semi. This has been such a beautiful night. Again, folks, if you're in the audience, even just $25 makes a massive difference for us. And we'll be back tomorrow for the pitch-ins on Livestream. Drop in at 8 p.m. Central on our meetup over Zoom to be on the show if you want to help prepare with us. If not, we'll see you at the stream at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much, everyone. This has been such a beautiful night. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow and Thursday and Sunday. Have a great day. Thanks, everyone.